The knock on this team, the Baltimore Ravens, was that, well, Lamar can't beat Pittsburgh. The knock on this team was that, well, this defense simply has not proven itself over and over or consistently enough throughout this entire season so that they can be trusted. The knock on this team was, can Lamar actually win a game of any significance, meaning that he has not done it in the past. Griff, we both went into this game thinking Baltimore was going to win this game in the fashion that they won this game. But what did you take out of what you saw from the Baltimore offense that gives you confidence that they are who we thought they were?
I mean, again, at this time of the year, man, especially playing in the type of stadiums that they play in, being able to establish a running game. And I mean, they had the Steelers all night trying to figure out, do I hit Lamar or do I hit Derrick? Who do I hit? And I mean, Lamar was reading that read option like it was no tomorrow, man. And the Steelers didn't have an answer for it. So I got all the confidence. I think we're gonna have a better showing of the game that they will be playing this weekend than we've seen in previous years with Baltimore if they just stick to the script.
Well, you're absolutely right. We saved the best commentary on this game for Brother Jordan. You're going to be able to provide us a deep depth analysis of how you gained almost 300 yards on the ground. And we are who we thought we were, Baltimore. Are you going to implement that for the rest of the postseason? Is it just adapt to the games that we're playing, or is it that we are the Baltimore Ravens? We are going to run the ball, try to stop us. Which one is it, Jay?
Hey, we're going to run that ball, and you guys got to stop us. It is such a hard task to focus on Lamar already, and then when you add Derrick Henry in there, you guys see what happens. So I think the Ravens have the best chance this year to go ahead and take it to the promised land. It was so much fun to watch as a Ravens fan for them to beat up on the Steelers like that.
I know that there was some definite sigh of relief early on in the first quarter when you saw Lamar on those 5 consecutive early runs kind of setting the tone, as Griff mentioned, and establishing that run threat from both Lamar and Derrick Henry. And Griff, Jordan said Baltimore is just going to run the ball, try to stop us. That's the game plan going into Buffalo this weekend. Do you see that as being a repeat performance of what happened when they played each other in the regular season? Or, as we all know, the playoffs is a completely different season. Is this a completely different Baltimore team and a completely different Buffalo team? Just to take a sneak peek, a look ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a completely different Baltimore team, and it's not so much about the offense. It's more so the defense. The way the defense been playing is completely different than how they played when they met up early this year. I think Baltimore going to do what, like you just said, what the opposing teams dictate. If they let us run, I'm going to keep on running. But if you force me to throw the ball, I still got capabilities. They still had Bateman out there catching. They had Likely. They had Andrew. He still got the weapons. But I'm one of them people, like, at this time of the year, keep it simple. Until you can show me that you can stop the king from I felt like I saw some fratricide this weekend with the way he threw Mika Fitzpatrick down. Man, they team.
You got it's all like business.
King Henry said it wasn't personal, it was just business.
That's right. So I can't let you go, Jordan, being that you're the AFC expert for the show. In the rumblings and the tumblings of the Pittsburgh Steelers as they kind of did what their in-state brother did with the Eagles did last year. They kind of fell off the cliff at the end of the year. Now, many people will say the Pittsburgh Steelers fell off of a cliff and they couldn't find the offense to win any of those last 5 games. They lost to 5 better teams. They were outplayed and outmanned in all 5 of those games. They lost to the Baltimore Ravens twice. They lost to the Eagles. And then they lost to the Bills, I believe. And then that playoff game. So the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have anything to hang their head down about other than allowing Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson to run all over them for 300 yards, as Jordan said. But my question to you, Jordan, is do you believe it's time for Mike Tomlin to look elsewhere? Because it's not about him not living up to the standard which he set. It is, do you think Mike Tomlin sees greener pastures elsewhere?
I don't know about that. I mean, what Mike Tomlin has done is probably historical. I would have to go and kind of check it, but I think he should stay where he's at. They can't hang their heads. Since they lost Big Ben, that's like a huge loss. Look at what happened to the Patriots when they lost Tom Brady, right? That was their core foundation. So I think they still are rebuilding. They're still trying to figure out how to get on their feet. I don't know if that is with Russ, if that's with Justin Fields, or maybe they look in a different direction. But I think Mike Tomlin should stay put. And there's still a lot of good football in the next couple of years from him if he does.
You agree, Griff?
Man, I think it's time for a change. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, man, and most Pittsburgh Steelers fans will probably agree with this. I mean, again, Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, but you know what? Fans only remember Super Bowls. They don't. At some point, they get tired of just having winning seasons. That ain't enough. And as good as Mike Tomlin is, it might be time to go somewhere else where he can probably reinvigorate a team. Just like in the military, every 3 to 4 years, what we do, we PCS, man. You bring in new energy. New energy brings in new ideas. The fact that you have a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers that only could put up 29 yards rushing, it might be time for somebody else to come in with some new ideas. That's all they did. With the two running backs that they got, they was only able to put up 29 yards rushing. No, it might be time for a new look in Pittsburgh.
Well, one thing I definitely cannot do, especially to one of the greatest coaches of all time, is equate his entire tenure to 29 rushing yards in a game against an arch rival in the playoffs. They had been outmanned this entire season. Pittsburgh has been punching up for the past 4 or 5 years with Kenny Pickett as their quarterback. And before him was, I forget his name.
You talking about Randolph? You had Randolph. You had Kenny Pickens. Rudolph. You had Rudolph. You had Kenny Pickens.
Yeah. So since Big Ben retired, you've gone through a slew of quarterbacks that have not met the mustard, that are not playoff caliber type of starters. And Mike Tomlin has continually had winning seasons.
Well, who's responsible for those guys, Drew?
He is. And he will tell you the buck stops with him. The standard is the standard. And if you're not performing to the standard, then you're going to have to be held accountable, himself included. Now, he has a lot of stuff to happen off the field and even on the field because of the physical talents of some of the players that are doing the things. But be careful what you ask for. That's all I'm saying. Be careful what you ask for. I know change is always good. And you gave an excellent example about getting that new blood and new vision and new perspective in there to re-energize and reinvigorate the entire organization. And 18 years is a long time in one spot. We all know how Pittsburgh does business, though. They've had 3 coaches in the past 60 years. 3 coaches in the past 60 years, and that's including Mike Tomlin. So I don't know if he's going to be gone. I don't know if he should go. Obviously, he would have the pick of the litter as soon as the decision is made for them to part ways. And we're going to have that discussion here in a little bit. I just wanted to kind of lay that foundation about coaching moves and where coaches should go.